What's up, y'all? Welcome to Game Day here at Heavy Cardboard. Teach, play, and discuss medium and heavy strategy board games, War Games 18XX. I'm your host, Edward Euler. Happy to be joined by y'all since today is going to be a solo playthrough of Praga. I'm going to probably butcher this, but Praga Caput Regni. Designed by Vladimir Suchy and published by Rio Grande Games. Now, originally published by Delicious Games, which is Vladimir Suchy's own company, him and his wife, I believe. Nonetheless, Rio Grande Games is a partner, and happy to be this playthrough sponsored by them, so certainly appreciate that, and thanks for providing us with the review copy of the game today as well. Now, before we get into this, I will say that there's a lot of things going on in this game. So I'm going to do an overview of the game and then teach as I go, as I want to do during these solo streams. Also, there are, for all intents and purposes, two different types of solo games, or two different versions of the solo game, I think would be a good way to put it. One is the one that is printed in the rulebook. That's the one we're going to be doing today, since I figure that's going to be the one that most people are going to be familiar with, or they'll see it in their copy of the rulebook, right? The second one is available for download on Delicious Games. It's not actually in the rulebook, but it's basically a bit of a more involved automa. It has that for the rules, and then it has this for printed 5 cards that you're going to need to print and cut out. But I thought for the first playthrough of this, I thought it'd be best to go ahead and just do the standard one, if you will, which is just simply set up for a 2-player game, but is a solo game. And the 2-player, or the bot, is very simple, a super 2-second little mechanism, and that's it. And it's a try and beat your own score situation. So there you go. Now, I am only going to teach this from the point of view from the point of view of the solo game. So yeah, multiplayer. I know John Gets Games did a really great 3-player playthrough. I would recommend going and checking that out if you were so inclined. But with that said, as I said, I'm going to do an overview at the beginning, and then we're going to kind of teach as we go. I think that's about it. So if you have any questions, obviously, chat. I'll keep an eye on that as best I can as we go along. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into Praga Caput Regni, shall we? All right, so here's the setting of the game. Charles IV has been crowned King of Bohemia and ruler of the Holy Roman Empire. From his castle in Prague, he oversees construction of new fortifications, a bridge across the Vltava River, a university, and a cathedral rising within the walls of the castle itself. Prague is already among the largest cities in Europe. King Charles will make it the capital of an empire. Now, as far as the rule or the overview as it is in the rule book, it says players take on the role of wealthy citizens organizing various building projects in medieval Prague. By expanding their wealth and contributing to their construction, they gain favor with the king. Players choose from 6 actions that are always available, but weighted with a constantly shifting array of costs and benefits. Clever players will discover synergies between carefully timed actions and the rewards from constructing the civic projects. At the end of the game, the winner is the player who most impressed King Charles. Now, since it is a solo game, we are not really competing against anyone. It is simply a how good of a score. The rulebook says 140 points is a good score. So I guess that's what we're going to be shooting for today. All right. A couple of other things. Now, there are some 3D aspects to this that can go over here, but it is exactly like that. And with the top-down camera, to be honest with you, I just chose not to include them today. And there are a lot of variability, there is a lot of variability when it comes to tiles that will overlay on these tiles over here for the bridge, and then on the King's Road itself there will be some variation as well. But as it is, we're just going to go ahead and play the standard stuff today, since it is the first time that we are streaming this. So as I mentioned, goal of the game is victory points, right? So 140 points would be our goal. We start at 0. Victory point track around the outside goes obviously up to 100, so 140 is our goal. All right, so as an overview, the game takes place, every player is going to have 16 turns regardless of the number of players. All right, so in our case, it's going to be 16. If we were playing 4 players, we would still have 16, except there would be 64 turns between all of the players. All right, the majority of the game is centered around this crane action selection mechanism. I apologize. So this is the core of the game. On a player's turn, they are essentially going to do 3 things on their turn. The first is they're going to take an action from the crane. So anywhere you see these tiles are going to be the available actions on a player's turn. They can choose any of these 6 regardless of where they are around on this crane, but they're going to choose one of those, and when they choose that action tile, they're going to choose either from the top part or the bottom part. The bottom part, or the outer part, if you will, is going to be a construction, and there are 3 different types of things that we can construct. More on that in a moment. Or we can do other actions out here that aren't part of the construction, but there are going to be 6 choices. So on your turn, you're going to take an action tile from the crane, first and foremost. If you take a tile that is over here in the red areas, then you're going to have to pay the associated cost as shown over here on the board. Otherwise, if it is over here in the blue area, and take my word for it, there is a 3 and a 5 point victory point spot, but we're never going to see those in a solo game as it is, but a 1 point or 2 point, you would get that benefit. And if it's over here in the green area, then there's no cost or no benefit, a bonus benefit associated with it. So we're going to take one of the tiles. It can be any of those. You'll then perform one of the 2 available actions that are on the tile. Also, you will gain any benefit from the inner part of the crane here associated with the tile that you take. When you take that tile, you can do the associated or get the associated bonus immediately, or at any point throughout your turn. You can wait to maybe something's going to give you gold, then you can pay that gold later on to then be able to get an egg, so on and so forth, okay? Then after you have taken your action, then we are going to rotate the crane 1 space clockwise, and then we will place the tile that we chose up here in the first available spot, just to the right of the arrow there. All right. This will continue cycling around until this little cube here, there is a little spot that it's going to drop in roughly about here. And then we are going to advance this there. We are going to advance that there. And then eventually when it comes off, when it drops down another time, so there's another rotation around here, that will trigger the end of the game. And then we will go into final scoring. All right. So we're going to choose one of the actions. We're then going to take any associated bonus. We're going to carry out that action, and then we're going to rotate and replace the tile. That's it in a nutshell. Now, I realize all I have talked about on this board is this area, and then we still have all of this stuff out here that we haven't touched on, which I will do so briefly as we go over the actions here in a moment. The last little caveat that I want to cover is, as you can see, this is a very tall board, so you can see that I have it rotated clockwise 90 degrees so that it's not super zoomed out, so that it's not vertical. So everything as you're looking at is kind of going to be 90 degrees sideways to all of us here. However, all of the building tiles that I have out here, I've tried to face for the camera for everything, but obviously I can't do anything about the cathedral or the Hunger Road there. So, that said, or I'm sorry, the Hunger Wall. That said, let's go ahead and go over, again, briefly, an overview of what the available actions are going to be over here. Now, each player, obviously just us in this case, has a action board over here, as well as their own player board, which down here, obviously. And that's going to show you at a glance what the 6 available actions are that are on all of the tiles that we can take out here. In addition, both the inner and the outer part. So These three are going to be fundamentally very, very similar. Those are going to be the construction actions. So it's going to be either constructing buildings, constructing upgrades, which will upgrade these actions so that whenever we take one of these associated actions, it's just going to make them that much better. So they're tiles that will physically go on top of these 6 spots. The buildings here will actually get built either in the old town or the new town of Prague. All right. And finally, there will be wall, for lack of a better way, wall pieces, wall buildings that are actually going to go on the outside of our action board over there, which are going to give us benefits and bonuses as we go along. Then there are 3 other spaces over here. We're going to go ahead and talk about this one first. This is the King's Road. So let me go ahead and give you a kind of a brief overview of the board here so that you can actually see what is the King's Road. The King's Road actually runs through the road right through there up to and including the bridge that is right there. So we have building spaces for buildings that some are already pre-built randomly per the game based on a 2-player game. And then there are going to be plazas in which we are going to be building around to be able to gain benefits and points out here. Again, this being the old town and this being the new town. So all of these spaces that you see, these hexes, are where we're going to be able to build throughout the game. And obviously we cannot overbuild any existing buildings, so we cannot overbuild this, and we cannot build on any places that are not surrounded by these little hex areas out here. Obviously we also cannot build buildings on the King's Road over there, all right? But the King's Road, we have a pawn that you can see over here that starts off the board. And there are 5 steps on the King's Road. So the first time that we take an associated King's Road action, we are going to advance to the first spot, which is going to provide us with those benefits. Then when we take another one, it will be those benefits. That one, it'll be those benefits. Here, we'll have to do with the tiles. And the final spot is actually physically on the bridge, and then it will be able to afford us these bonuses, which are end-game scoring bonuses as well. All right, so that's what the King's Road is going to do. It's going to give us some immediate one-time and potentially ongoing benefits whenever we take certain actions. So that's the King's Road. And the last thing, or the last 2 actions, are very similar and have to do with the 2 resources that are in the game. We have stone and we have gold. And to be able to cover those, there are, within each of those, there are 2 different available actions to choose from. We can either produce stone or produce gold, or you can get one of the associated things. So if we chose this one and we chose to do the left side of this, because slash, as you know, is an either or, means we either get, or we can get 1 stone and increase our production for stone, or we just produce stone. And the exact same for gold is we increase, we get 1 gold and increase our gold mines by 1, or we produce gold with all of our existing gold mines. Okay? All right? So if you take a look here, this is our player board. Now our player board has 4 different tracks on it, as well as a way to keep track of our gold as well as our stone. Now, you'll notice that these are kind of cool little cranes. We start with 2 gold, we start with 2 stone, and then as we increase, this will increase up along until we hit one of these little blockers. When we hit one of these blockers, if we were to ever increase that number past, then we're going to remove that, add it to our supply of available cubes to be able to use. More on that when we actually start building buildings, and then we will get whatever the benefit is, which has to do with these tracks over here. All right, but that's what these 2 cranes are. So obviously the gold will move clockwise, the stone will move anti-clockwise or counterclockwise as well. And both of those have a, not a stop, but a spot that will give us a benefit, and then they both have it at the 9 mark, and the first one to hit 9, which is the max on either one of these, will be able to remove that and get what the bonus is shown on that. So this is keeping track of the number of gold and the number of stone that we have. Now, I mentioned that we have books here, or the I am getting my words crossed up. that is going to be, let me get the term correct, the technology track or the book track, and then the Charles University track. So you see the little, I forget what the hat's called, but anyways, the university track and the technology track. So whenever you gain a book or technology, you will increase up the technology track, and then you will get technology tiles anytime you land on any of those spots. The university track over here is going to be a score multiplier based on the number that you see over here for endgame. All right, so that's what those two tracks are going to do for us. And then finally, these are going to be our our production tracks for stone and for gold, respectively. Now, there is one not the most intuitive thing about these tracks that I do want to point out, and that is whenever you choose to produce, you produce everything to the left of where your cube is, okay? So for instance, if this cube were, say, right here on the 4 spot, and we were to produce stone, we then produce 3 stone, and we would get 1 victory point. So everything to the left of it, not where our marker is, okay? We would not get 4 stone in a victory point. Instead, we would get 3 stone to everything to the left of it, okay? I hope that's clear. So whenever we produce stone, we're going to get that many stone, which means we would up this whatever that number was. Obviously, we cannot go above 9, nor can we go below 0. And the same will go for the gold, just associated with the gold. Now, you might be asking yourself, why am I gaining these resources? Well, essentially, the reason that you are going to be gaining these resources is to be able to build any of those 3 associated buildings. So you'll notice that the cost here in the middle for getting buildings is going to cost usually some amount of gold, maybe some gold and some stone, anything that's in this banner on the bottom part. For building walls, it's going to cost gold or stone, just stone, etc., etc. And then finally, for upgrades, these aren't going to cost us anything necessarily. They're just going to basically beef up our actions whenever we take the associated actions. So again, we're going to take a turn, we're going to choose one of these tiles, we're going to get whatever is in the bonus in the middle, we're going to take the action, and then we're going to rotate, place a new one out there. Then when it's not our turn, when it's our opponent's turn, because again, even though it's solo, it is still set up for a 2-player game, it's pretty simple. The furthest tile that is closest to the blue area or in the blue area over here, we will take it, we will rotate, we will move that, boom, that's the bot. Super simple, super, call it boring, but really simple for the solo game, for our version that is printed here in the rule book. Like, I'm not kidding when I say that is it right there for the solo variant. But again, just want to reiterate that there is this available to be printed off, which, as you can see, considerably more involved, and also has some cards you need to print off, sleeve, whatever. So there you go. That's it. 16 turns, rinse and repeat. And obviously there is a whole lot more to this as we go along, but as it is, I think that's good enough to go ahead and get started. So yeah, 140 points. So chime in whether or not you think I'm going to hit that. I would venture the answer is no. And then over under on Glory to Rome's, I'm just going to put it at 2.5, since it's a solo game and those tend to be few and far between. So, all right, I'll bring up camera, bring that up. There we go. Mortar board. That's it. Thanks, Cray. I appreciate that. All right, so yeah. Let's go ahead and get started. So again, our turn. Now there is a lot, and there's one thing I want to chime in. The game, as far as the timings of things, at the end of the rule book, there's this really interesting thing where it says notes on timing. And before we get started, I kind of want to drive this point home a little bit. It says, in general, timing is loose enough to allow you to do things in an order that works best for you. So if you're worried, oh, can I do this? Can I wait to do that until after I do this? The general rule, for the most part, is, yeah, you actually can wait to do that. So it says, in particular, the following things can be done in any order on your turn. Use a single-use technology. Now, technologies are going to be single-use, are going to be the 3s and 4s that are here on your board, so that's going to be late game. We're not going to talk about that right now. Buying an extra action. So that's something I didn't really cover yet. Also, but I figure out to chime in. At any point on your turn, you can spend windows. What? What are these windows? We didn't even mention that. We'll get there, don't worry. But just know that you can spend a couple of gold or a gold and a silver window to be able to buy an extra action. So you can always take your extra action that you're afforded to do before taking the main action on this. Again, timings are really loose on purpose. So buying the extra action can be done at any point on your turn. Performing that extra action can be done at any point on your turn. Obviously not in the middle of things, but you could do it before or after. You could buy it before, or you could buy it after and then perform it, however you want to do. Taking an action tile, meaning the main part of your turn, you can do at any point. Choosing which tile to do and which, the top or bottom. Getting the bonuses that you get with the associated tile there. That can be before or after, or in the middle of, actually, taking your main action, whatever. Moving along here in the cathedral or the hunger wall, being able to move that. You can wait to do that. You could do that earlier when you were afforded the opportunity. Resolving immediate effects from a King's Road action that you perform this turn, meaning these spots over here on the King's Road. So it is intentionally loose so that it allows the player to combo things as you go along. Okay? So there we go. I hope that's clear. There we go. All right? All right. So without further ado, I think we ought to go ahead and just get started. I know there's always more, but a moment oolong tea today. All right. So let's take a look. Now, this is how the rulebook recommends setting these up. I talked about variations in this game. You'll notice that all of these tiles here are on the A side. You can either do the A side or the B side, and you'll notice all of them are either gray or yellow for the associated side. It does say that you cannot mix and match. You can't have some A's, some B's. It says either do the A's or the B's. And the order in particular that we are set up here is how the rulebook recommends for early plays, if you will. The other thing I want to point out is obviously wherever this arrow is, this is going to come into play for timings. For whenever we switch from call it stage 1 to stage 2 technology, or the tiles over here, all of these tiles, these are all the level 1s, as you can see from the Roman numeral there. So when this yellow line, this is something that is easy to overlook. So normally it's whenever this cube will advance, because whenever this one drops down, that is when we advance this cube. That's when you're going to, when it crosses that threshold, based on the number of players, to take all the level 1s out and replace them with level 2s. However, for the 2-player and the solo game, as it will, see this little yellow line right here? This does not happen when we cross that. And I feel like I'm getting a little into the weeds with y'all on this, but I think this is an important thing to point out, is as we spin this around, as we go along, you notice that when this arrow matches up with this yellow line right here, just as it shows right there, after this cube is already moved into that spot, that's when we're going to replace the 1s with the 2s, okay? And I'm going to show you this, I mentioned that this will drop down, and right there. Right there. It dropped into that hole, so I can't advance that any further. Okay, so you'll see that it points there. That's your cue to advance this over to there. So after that has happened for the first time, we're just going to pull that back out. There. And when this spins around and we end up back to there, that's when we're going to go into level 2, buildings and such. But as it is, enough about that. Again, I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but there we go. All right. So, all right. So, and if I didn't say it, welcome everybody. I apologize. Yeah, All right, so let's get to it. So what do we have out here? We have building buildings, and all of these are going to cost us 3 gold. And you'll notice that we start, as I mentioned, with 2 gold. So we're not going to be able to take that action. But we could either produce some stone, which we have 2 to begin with, or get another stone and then produce some stone, or increase our quarries by 1. So that's an option. Building the wall is going to cost us either 2 stone or 2 stone and 2 gold. So this is definitely a doable option to begin with, or increasing our gold mines, just like the stone quarries. Okay. But now this is all where it starts costing money. And I really don't like the idea of just spending money just to spend money to be able to get these actions. So you know what? I think we're going to focus on one of these 2 to begin with. And also, the bonus that we're going to be able to get if we take this tile is either get 1 point or be able to get a special tile. And a special tile, there are over here, as you can see some of them, there are 3 regular level 1 tiles, and then the one that you can barely see over here is actually a special tile. It has a little S for special. You can only choose the special tile selection of the 4 that are out there when you take a tile that is here. So it does not allow you the possibility of taking 2. It does not. It's only 1, but it is the special tile specifically. Or you could just take a point and choose any of the other 3, or choose a point and do that. Okay, all right, enough about that. This would get us extra stone. I think increasing our gold would probably be a good start. So I like the idea of taking this one. The only problem with that is because we know the bot, if you will, is going to choose whichever tile is closest to the blue area. So it's going to choose basically whichever one of these we don't choose. So you notice that if we're not wanting to spend any gold, then we're going to have a choice of one of these 2, and then we will have a choice of these 2. And since we're going to lose that one and gold's not available, I think we choose the gold one to begin with. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So our first thing, we're going to take an action from the crane. Okay, and because it's in a green area, we don't have to pay anything. We don't get any benefit, like points there. We don't pay any gold. We just get this. However, at any point, we can go ahead and choose to take the stone, but because I'm forgetful, I think we probably ought to remember to do it right now. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to go ahead, and I apologize because I'm left-handed, but there we will bump that up, boom, to 3. Now, I'm going to go ahead and also place this over here. So now, which do we want to do? So again, we could either produce gold. That would give us 3 gold, the end, because producing is everything to the left of that. So we would get 3 gold. So that would bump us up to 5. That's cool, but Or we could get 1 gold and move this over 1. And when we move that over, that's also going to get us a victory point whenever we produce going forward. And that allows us to get more gold. So I think that I like that idea. The other option, though, is the buildings. So now I think we need to be able to make an informed decision. So let's go ahead and take a look. I said buildings. I should have said the walls. So the walls are specifically the gray ones. The buildings are these, and these are the upgrades for our action board. All right. Now, I mentioned that these 3 top rows, as it were, as we're looking at the board, are all the available for normal. And then there are these special spots for the associated tile. Okay. So these are not available unless you take one that has that S, which we did not. So therefore, this one isn't even an option. So what this is, what these are is there's going to be some in-game scoring benefit to them, but there's also going to be some potential bonuses that we're going to get for these icons over around the outside. Then we have the cost, as I mentioned, here in the middle. So it will cost us 3 stone, which we have, 2 stone, or 2 stone and 2 gold, which we have. But the other benefit is you're going to get whatever's in the green window. So this one is going to go, that shows 2 mortarboards. All right, which is going to allow us to move up the university track twice, which that's nice for endgame scoring. Doesn't help us right now, but it helps us for endgame scoring. And this one allows us to increase our gold production by 1, and this one allows us to go up the technology track, which would immediately get us a technology tile and 2 points. That's tempting. I gotta say, being able to get a technology tile early is going to be beneficial. And the reason for that is because all of the level 1 and the level 2 technologies have ongoing effects that will affect us for the rest of the game. Okay? So the level 1s and level 2s, getting those early are going to be beneficial for us. And you'll notice level 1 and level 2 are just single bumps right there. So getting that early seems really, really good. But the problem with that is that's going to wipe out all our gold, and that's going to wipe out all our stone. So instead of being short-sighted, and that's also going to potentially get us a window later on, which is going to get us some stuff. But as it is, I think what we ought to do is go ahead and just increase our gold production and get 1 gold. So we're going to do the top part of that. So we're looking at that. Then between those two, we're not going to produce gold, which is the bottom one. So literally we are doing the very top of this. So we are going to get 1 gold as it shows there. So that'll bump up 1. And then we are going to increase our gold production whenever we produce by 1. So now we're going to be able to generate 4 gold whenever we produce. And these will never go down. These are only on a one-way trip up, which are going to be really good. Now, a couple other things before we move on. We also have these little markers right here for the respective tracks. Those are going to be production tokens, all right? So the production tokens are going to be little extra benefits that we're going to get over here. A stone, a gold, a point, 2 points. Why wouldn't you always take the 2 points? Obviously, more players, these aren't all going to be available. The point and a stone or a point and a gold. And what's going to happen with those is whenever you get the ability to choose one of these, what's going to happen is whenever you get your marker immediately onto that spot, so 1 more in the gold production as it were, you get to choose one of those and put it in here so that whenever you produce, you're going to produce whatever the amount of gold is there, the number of crowns, i.e. points there, plus whatever is in there every turn. And obviously when we hit this production token marker here, it's going to be for this track. When we hit that one, it's going to be hit for this track. This is going to get us eggs. Interesting note, when they were building the bridge here in Prague, for some reason the kings told all the towns around that you have to send eggs because it's going to be part of the production. So it's in the mortar. There are literal eggs in the mortar in the bridge. I thought that was odd, but interesting also. But eggs are going to get us bonus things. They're going to afford us the ability to do extra things. So those are good things. The books are obviously up the technology track. And then finally, these last two are going to be, oh shoot, I can't remember the name. Seals. Not like, not those type of seals, but these seals out here. These are going to be available to obviously first come, first serve. In a solo game, it's just us. These are all going to be in-game things. Straight up points, 6 or 4 respectively. Sorry, I apologize. Okay, there you go. So in-game points right here. And then at the end of the game, your stone and gold can be converted into points. Otherwise, they are worth nothing at the end of the game, so being able to do so. But these are free to claim, but these obviously are going to cost windows, provided that you have them. More on those later. All right. So anyway, teaching as we go, we took our action tile. We got the bonus for that. We chose to do one of the action, well, obviously we did one of the actions. We don't have any windows to do anything extra. So now the next thing to do is to rotate the crane. And I'm going to try and remember to do this in this order because it's me and I will forget stuff. Rotate 1 spot and then the tile will go, and it does not matter technically whether it goes that way or that way, but in my opinion, I think it's easier for the things that you construct around the outside, and then the other things there in the middle. That will go into the last spot, and boom, the turn of the greenish yellow player is complete. Okay? So that's it for my turn. Now the solo bot is really, really simple with the one that's printed in the rule book, which is the one we're using. Choose the action tile that is furthest ahead, i.e. closest to the blue zone. Return the tile to the crane according to the usual rules. In other words, here's the solo bot. Ready? Watch. It's going to choose this one because it's closest to the blue area. We're going to rotate one, and we're going to throw it down here. And the solo bot has done their turn. Boom, done. There we go. Okay? So, there we go. All right. And Mike asks, are we playing with the newish solo stuff? We are not. I did print these here, but chose to do the basic one to begin with. And then if we stream this again, then we may do so on that. Okay? All right. All right. So it's our turn again. All right. Well, it's constantly going to be our turn. All right. So moving up the King's Road, or getting an upgrade, or increasing our stone production, which again, seems like a pretty good idea to get going early on that, or building a building. Now, we do have 3 gold, so I think what we ought to do is look at these one at a time. So let's look at our stone and stone production to be able to start with, okay? So if we look over here, we have 3 stone, we have 3 gold. Our production currently is 2 stone, because remember it's to the left of it, and that's really boring, but increasing this to where we would get 3 stone seems like a good idea, okay? So increasing our stone production and getting another stone, which would give us 4 stone, as our main action. Remember, we only get 16 of these puppies. That seems like a not terrible idea. Well, that takes care of that one. Next, let's go ahead and take a look at the King's Road first, and then we will look at our options for building. Now, I am not going to walk through this detailed every turn, but I think especially early, I think it's going to be important to do so, okay? All right, so here we are, just hanging out, haven't quite made it onto the King's Road yet. But if we go, and I apologize that it's sideways and almost upside down, but again, just physicalness of the board. If we were to advance on the King's Road, we would go onto our obvious spot. And obviously, if we were playing multiplayer, all the players could be there in their respective spots. You'll notice that it has a lightning bolt. That means immediate, right? Universally, I think that's what that means. So either get 2 stone or 2 gold. Awesome. That seems cool. In addition to that, you may immediately and immediately only, and only do this once, spend 1 egg to increase your stone or your gold production by 1. So basically, it's kind of like what the other part of that tile did, right? So there's that. But we don't have any eggs. So advancing on the King's Road right now seems like a poor choice. So I don't like that idea, but I did want to at least go over what the available action is, okay? So there's the King's Road, and there's that. So this, yes, that, no. And the other thing is upgrades or buildings. And we have 3 and 3 each, 3 gold and 3 stone. So let's go ahead and start talking about the upgrades. Now, none of these, as you can see, neither of these choices. Now, don't forget, we can get more that cost us gold. So we're not limited to that, but it just seems like a poor choice. So, because as you see, there are not any specials that, hold on, let me back up. In addition to this, you'll notice we can spend 1 gold and get an egg. If we get an egg, then we could advance on the King's Road, right? So there's that, okay? So we would actually be able to do that. I misspoke. I forgot about the bonus over here. But moving on, so that is actually, both of those are actually viable options. Okay. The upgrades, we can only do the top 3 because we don't have a special spot on these, so we can't do that. This one is for whenever we build a wall. Whenever we build a wall piece, meaning one of these on subsequent actions, or possibly this action, but it's not going to happen, you can spend 1 stone, get 2 gold every time. In addition to that, you see the little mortar board. There is a 1 mortar board with an exclamation point. Exclamation point means you do that when you take the tile. So that would move us up 1 on the university track, which is going to be that score multiplier at the end of the game, remember, for us. So all of these for the level 1s are going to have 1 mortarboard. All of the level 2 or the second phase ones will have 2 of them respectively. All right. So this one says whenever you take the King's Road action, you get to score a point. Well, that's good. Whenever you take the building action, you score 1 point in addition to that. So I could make a case for all of those. I think all of those are viable and legit and good. Okay. And I do want to point out that even though this is an exclamation point, that does mean a one-time and one-time only thing. I just wanted to verify that. They did. All right. So getting those tiles will physically go onto their respective matching action over there. In addition to that, you're going to notice that some of these have windows. They're going to have maybe some stone. They might have some points. They might have some bonus tokens. Those bonus tokens are going to be either in the red variety or the blue variety. And as it is, only the red ones are out here right now. And that's just randomness of the draw. That is going to be potentially in-game points for us as well. Okay? All right. So that is, all of those are viable. I mean, they're options. But now let's go ahead and take a look at the actual buildings. Now the buildings, there's a lot more to these. These will actually go out in the town. They cost the associated price, 3 gold and a stone, 3 gold, 3 gold, whatever. I misspoke. There is a blue bonus token out there potentially. And where these are going to be out here in these various areas, which are going to go around these plazas that we have. And these plazas are going to help us score points or get us bonus items as well as the game goes along. That gives us 2 stone. That gives us a window, a silver window, and 4 points. That gives us just a silver window. In addition, it's going to give us a bump on the cathedral track. This one will, the special, which we can't do, will, and this one will. So you know that because there's a little cathedral icon, and you'll notice that this one does not. But this instead is going to have this little icon over here above the green area, which is going to allow us to score immediately based on the number of buildings surrounding or touching, we'll try that again, the existing plaza that is out there. So you know what? Let's just go ahead and mosey on over here to show that. So let's talk about this area down here. If we were to build, this one already comes built out here on the board. It's randomly put out there. If it shows that it's going to cost anything, that would cost a gold, that would cost 2 gold, that would cost a gold to build a building in any of those spots, but then you get the bonus immediately when you cover it. 1 point, 3 points, 2 points respectively. Now, why are we looking at these? Well, first off, let's say we were, let's say we wanted to build this building here and we wanted to go there. It would cost us 3 for this building and it would cost us 1 to place it there, but it would get us an immediate point. In addition to that, you can orient this in any direction that you want. And the reason you're going to want to do that is you'll notice that these tiles match up with the icons, right? So depending on the number of icons that you match up with, you're going to get that many bonus tokens, either in the blue variety or the red variety. So if we were to put it like that, that would be 1 blue icon or 1 bonus token. That would be 1 because it matches up with 1 existing there. And that would be 1 because it matches up with 1 there. However, if let's say we had built that there and then there was a subsequent one that we built here, well, that would be 2. So we would actually get 1 for placing that. And then on the subsequent one, there are 2 there. We would get 2 more bonus icons. So that's kind of awesome, right? In addition to that, not in addition, let's go ahead and say it were this, which there are no icons that match up here. But immediately we would score based on the number of buildings that are attached or touching the plaza, that each of these building areas is going to touch 1 plaza. These are the plaza areas out here. So there are 2 buildings out here. So this building would immediately score 2 points plus the 1 that is there. In addition to that, you get whatever is printed in the green area, which is going to be 1 silver window and 4 more points. So that would actually score 7 points if we placed it there. 4, 5, 6 for that part, and 7. So, I mean, not terrible, right? Now, the cathedral stuff, I'm actually going to talk about when we actually build the building. But what that is going to be is we're going to advance to the right over here on the cathedral track. This is going to get us for why we're getting those blue and red tokens. This is going to be the further down towards us, if you will, that this is. This is going to be 4 points, 3, 2, and 1 respectively for each of the red tokens at the end of the game, regardless of where you are horizontally as we're looking at it. And vice versa for the blue tokens on that. And then as you climb up, it's also going to be in game points for that and other bonuses as we go along. All right. So there you go. Whew. All right. So I could make a case for all of that. That was a whole lot of explaining, a whole lot of talking to talk about what is it we want to do. And I think production... Do we diversify and produce? Not produce, but get more stuff? Or do we do something like the King's Road? Or do we build one of these? So you guys tell me what it is you think. And let's go ahead and make it a group effort. "16 actions. And this is number 2. I don't know if the game, if you benefit from specializing or diversifying. I'm not sure which is more beneficial for us, to be perfectly honest. And obviously we can choose these as well, right? But you'll notice that there are 2 of the same for each. So there are 2 of these, there are 2 of these, there are 2 of these. So the only one that would make sense would be this one right now. So, yeah, right? All right, let's go with it. Manuel and Mashmi say get eggs and the King's Road. So let's go ahead and do it. So here, so we're going to choose this tile. Because we chose this tile, we may spend 1 gold to get 1 egg. So let's go ahead and do that. So we will spend 1 gold. And our version of the game from Rio Grande comes with wooden eggs as well as cardboard eggs. But if you have wooden bits, why wouldn't you use them? So we have that. Excellent. Or dare I say excellent. So there we go. Put that right. And we all said that we are going to do the King's Road action. And by we all, I mean... well, a couple. All right. All right. All right. So, King's Road. Let's go ahead and do it. So we advance to here. We get 2 stone or 2 gold. We're shorter on gold, so I think we go ahead and take the 2 gold. So that will get us up to 4. That's good. Okay. And then... we can advance on the production if we spend an egg. Well, I mean, we didn't do this to not do that, okay? So now the question is, what do we do? Because we already increased this, so we're going to spend our egg, so I don't want to forget that. One nice thing, though, if we up this, is we're going to get a progress tile, which could either get us more gold, points, or stone. And I like the idea of getting stone every time we get gold. So I think we up the gold one. All right. So yeah. So I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to advance that. So now every time we produce gold, we're going to get 5 gold, 2 points, and because we have that, we get to go ahead and get a production token. And the production tokens, the world is our oyster, are any of these. Well, I'll be honest, there is literally no point ever in grabbing those because these give us a point and to go with those, or a couple of points. That seems good. But I really kind of like the idea of points and stone whenever we get gold. I mean, we could just like go all in on gold, but I kind of like the idea of that. Well, I don't know. All right, y'all are saying to do the coin. Okay, I will go with the coin. I will go with what the peanut gallery dictates. Okay, so there we go. So now, whenever we produce, we are going to get 3 points and 6 gold, as it is right now because of that. Okay? Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, hold on. You guys were saying increase the gold. Right, okay. So no, increase. Yeah, I agree. Okay. I misunderstand. Delay, I understand. My bad. So there. So instead, now it's going to be, whenever we produce gold, it's going to be 5 gold, 3 points, and a stone. There we go. Okay. That seems we're all on the same page for that. All right. My apologies. All right. So we've gotten the bonus. We've done the action. Now we need to, and now, whenever that goes here, that is going to advance 1 more. And that will go like so. All right, so now the bot will take this guy whoop, and go there. All right. Well, again, the bot's never going to allow us to get points for that because it's always going to take the highest. So now we have all of these. Obviously, these are the same. We just did that one. Building wall, not terrible. Building a building would be nice. Getting gold. If we were to get gold, we actually would get a couple of unlocks. I kind of like the idea of producing gold. You know what? Let me see. If I take this one, the bot will take this one. If I take this one, the bot will take that one. So, do we want either... I think we're going to want to build one of those instead. So you know what? I think I will take this and let the bot take that one. All right? So yeah, we're going to go ahead and take this and we're going to produce gold on this one. That seems like a good idea, I think. All right. So, hold on. Got a little ahead of myself. We can either take a special if we are building, we are not, or the 2 points. So hey, we're on the board. Let's go ahead, take our 2 points. Done. All right, so now I said, I guess, gonna do the top part and we're going to do the bottom of the top part. So it's actually going to be that, which is produce. So now we are going to produce, we're going to get 1, 2, 3 points. Okay, so let's go and get that. 1, 2, 3 points. Okay. All right. Oh, shoot. The other thing to think about is the bonus on this. That's actually a really fair point. That's a really, really fair point. You know what? I forgot about the bonus. So I think instead of taking that one, I think, who was it? I think Aaron made a good point that don't forget about the bonus here. So maybe we take this one, which will give us 2 stone. I like that idea better. I like that idea. So yeah. Yeah. So we're going to take this one, which first things first, doesn't have to be, but I'm going to forget if I don't, is go ahead and take the 2 stone. Okay. All right, so the 2 stone will get us 1 and 2, boom, done, right? Okay, so then we're producing the gold. So we've already gotten 1, 2, 3 points, which I need to back that up too, so we are actually there, okay? Yeah, so there's the 3 points, okay? All right. So then we're going to gain 1 stone for that, Well, we can't go any further, so we need to remove this cube, which then allows us to advance one more. I'm going to come back to that here in a minute so I don't forget stuff. And then I'm going to get 5 gold, because remember, to the left of where the cube is. So 5 plus 4 is going to be 9. That's going to go away, and I'll show you. So, boop, and it goes to 8, but now that will actually go all the way to 9. That's as far as it goes. And in one fell swoop, we have unlocked all 3 of those as the one-time bonus. Okay? So, now we just gained those, and we gained a gold window. Now, the gold window is going to be available for us to potentially, later on, take it a bonus action. So I said there's going to be 16 actions. There may be the possibility that we can get more than those 16. All right, so the 2 books are 2 technologies. So if we take a look over here, we're going to get 1 bump and we're going to get 2 bumps. And when we do so, that's going to get us a level 1 and a level 2 technology. Okay? All right? That's, yeah, I think that was pretty good. So now, the level 1 technologies. Now, because it's solo and to make it a little bit more interactive, there are 6 of these. I'm going to shuffle these up. And I'm going to let the peanut gallery choose which one we choose, okay? So there's going to be 3 of these. So you take the top 3 of the pile, and the other 3 will go back into the stack, okay? So these 3 are going to go right here, and I will go over what these are momentarily. All right. So these are all ongoing effects for the rest of the game. Anytime from the wheel you get bonus, you grab a, that you get a stone. And let me be very, very clear on this. Whenever you gain the indicated bonus from the wheel, gain 1 more and then score a point. So what I mean by that is this, from the wheel. So gain stone from the wheel. That would be gain points from the wheel, meaning the actual bonus is here in the middle, okay? So I would gain an extra stone, we would gain an extra stone and a point, or just gain an extra point. Or this one is every time you advance on the depicted track, score 2 points. Now, this is the stone track, right? So gain 2 points every time we do that. We have advanced pretty high up on the gold one, which is good, but we haven't on the stone one. Now, if we are going to, then getting it now, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 points potentially for doing that, okay? That's potentially 10 points for us. So I'm not sure which one y'all think we should do. I mean, I don't think any of them suck. So my gut was leaning this way for what it's worth, but what say you? All right, looks like 3 stone and points. So we're going to go ahead and take that one. So that's going to come over here into our player aid, or our player tableau, sorry. These 2 that we did not choose, we're just going to shuffle up, whatever. And obviously, this is more for multiplayer game, but the 3 existing, those 2 will go to the bottom of the stack, and then whoever's next will choose those 3, and then choose one. You get the idea, right? All right, so that's it for the level 1, but we also unlocked our level 2s. So that was a heck of a combo. So we're going to go ahead and choose those 3, and there are 6 of these bad boys as well. So here we go. Now, these are going to have ongoing effects as well, perpetual ongoing effects. Okay. All right. Now, the level 2s, now I might have to explain these a little bit more in detail, but in a moment. Whenever you acquire an egg through buying one or through something, you also get a stone and a point. This one here is that whenever you construct a wall tile with that symbol, gain a gold and a point, obviously. And then whenever you construct a building that does not have the cathedral symbol on it, then go ahead and get a gold and score a point. I'll be honest with y'all, I kind of like that one, but say what you will. Those are the three available, okay? All right, so I said this. Manuel said this one. Steven and Greg have said this one. So whenever we get three. So y'all let me know. Evening, Lars. Oh, all right. Manuel has changed his to the egg. All right, and Mashmi. So there we go. Whenever we get the egg. So these two will get buried. That will go there. And those are the only two. Those are the only two level 1, level 2 respectively that we're going to get, because obviously these are one-way tracks. Now, the thing that I also want to point out and remind y'all is whenever we get the 3 and the 4, those are one-time use whenever you wish to trigger them, and then they are thrown away. Okay? All right? All right, good. All right, so that was we got all of our stuff. We got the bonus for that. We then unlocked this, this, and this. We got that, that, and that for moving that up. That was, I would say, awfully productive turn, in my opinion. So now the last thing to do is rotate. That will go back, and we are done. So now, obviously, the bot is going to take the one that gives a point. This will rotate, and that will go there. I cannot keep track I cannot tell where this is going to be. So that's nice, being able to get an extra point. Okay. Now, a couple things to keep in mind here, right, as we're going along, is we are currently maxed on gold. So we don't want gold until we spend gold, because otherwise it's lost. And we have 6 stones. So we have a plethora, if you will. All right, of options available to us. So I don't think we need to produce anything. So now it's all about building or moving up the King's Road. So let's go ahead and take a little bit. Let's take a little bit of a look at the King's Road. Now, the second area in the King's Road is going to be this area right here. So there. This one says, and this would get us a gold, so it would not get us an egg. But this says you can spend a gold to get 4 points. Once. You can't spend like 4 gold for 16 points. Doesn't allow that. And immediately spend an egg and get either a gold window or a book, which is up the technology track. That's great, but we can't get an egg right now, so I don't think that makes a lot of sense because we don't have any eggs. And the King's Road ain't going to get us an egg. It's going to get us a gold. Now, keep in mind, there's flexibility on timing, so that doesn't mean we're going to lose the gold because we could potentially do whatever that is, which isn't going to actually get us any. It's not going to cost us any gold. So honestly, getting the point that I don't think we take this, as gross as that is. So I think we've eliminated that one, which also means we've eliminated this one. Now this one and this one both cost 1 gold each. So, but the thing is, this is the same as this is the same as that, so it's this, and we're not going to choose one of those, I don't think. Even though we have 9 gold, I guess we could, but I'm leaning more towards building the building, okay? All right, so there's that. So now let's go ahead and look, we're looking at the left one. Now, I do want to point out, it does have the special available to us, or point, but the special means all 4 of these are available to us. All right. I think I'm looking. I'm trying to decide. Building this where I said for 7 points doesn't seem terrible. But that seems a little short-sighted. Eh. What do y'all think as far as those buildings go? I mean, the other idea is, so I'm looking at the special or the upgrade tiles. Those don't seem great, because that's a possibility. I don't think any of the walls. Michael says trade stone for an egg. How could we, am I missing something? I don't think we can do that. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying for that right there. Okay, I gotcha. Okay, you know. Okay, I could actually see that. Well, shoot. Spend 1 gold and a stone would get us an that's good. You know what? We could do the egg thing next turn. So I think we do this. And we just take the point because we're not going to do the special building. I agree with y'all that we do this one, the third one. I think we can get the egg next turn, and we can do that on the road next turn. I like that. So yeah, let's go ahead and do this. So we're going to go ahead and choose this tile. It'll be the 1 point because we're not going to do the special. So there. We're going to build, as I mentioned, the third building. The third building here, and I'll go ahead and bring this over for us, that's going to cost us 3 gold and a stone. Okay? So 3 gold down to 6. And a stone down to 5. Okay. So now there's a whole lot of options out here, all right? And, well, okay. We could also pay 2 gold to change out 2 tiles in any one row. I forgot to mention that as well. And you can do that at any time. You know what? That might not be a terrible idea for 1 gold. Nah, I think I'm okay with this. I think I'm okay with that. All right, so we're looking at the available markets area or bazaars. So whenever a area gets completely surrounded by building tiles, whoever has the most cubes on them, and by most cubes, you see this little place where I'm pointing at with my thumb. That's a spot for one of our cubes to go on. So that cube is going to end up going on there like so. Whoever has the most is going to get both of the benefits, or in our case, you get both the benefits. So in this case, 2 silver windows and 4 points, a blue bonus tile and 4 points, etc., right? Up here, go up each of the 2 tracks. That seems good, and 4 points, right? You get the idea. 8 points total. 8 points and a gold window. But you notice that there is 1, 2, 3, 4 more buildings that have to go around that to be able to get that, because that doesn't happen until all of these are done. All right, so those are those, and then there are the other ones that are up here. Advance on either the Cathedral or the Hunger Road track, but again, that's going to require 3 buildings around it and 4 points, plus Cost a gold, but get more points immediately. So there's that. Get 6 points and a gold. Get 2, let's see, that'd be 3 points, 2 gold, and 2 stone. And that only requires 2. That's a ton of resources. That seems really good also. And to be honest with you, that might not be a terrible spot up there in the corner. And you'll also notice that this area for 4 players, that area for 3 and, well, you can't see it, but it's for 3 and 4 and it's empty. I kind of actually like that idea. So being able to get 3 points, 2 gold, and 2 stone. And it only requires 1 more building up there. That seems really good. It doesn't require a whole lot. The only downside is it kind of is blocked off. And the next one that could kind of play off of those buildings is that one, which, I still think it's worth it. I feel like it's worth it up there. I mean, the other one that really is enticing is that one. You know what? We got a bunch of gold right now. And I think we're going to be able to get a bunch of gold. So I think that actually makes more sense. So why not take the expensive one? And we'll go ahead and throw this one up there. So it's going to cost us a gold. Take my word for it. It did. So we are down to 5. That's going to get us 3 points. I'll get those in a minute. But that will go there. So when that goes there, our cube's going to go on. So we have not paid the cost here. That's going to be 3 gold and a stone. 1, 2, 3 gold and a stone. So we are now paid in full for all of those things. That's going to get us a silver window there, which now goes with our gold and silver. And then the cathedral up there on the very top of it, okay? All right. So now let's go ahead and take a look for the first time. Really is a pretty good thing. All right. So the hunger wall, which is the other one that is up here, works almost identical, but in the opposite direction as the cathedral. So we'll go ahead and talk about the cathedral. Anytime you see that symbol on a building that you build, obviously, it moves your cube 1 spot to the right. Boop. Done. But now, what this is saying is, at the end of the game, any of these guys that we have at the end of the game, each one is going to be worth 1 point. If this goes further along, 2 points, 3 points, 4 points individually, respectively. In addition to that, at endgame, because again, the endgame, depending on which row you're in or column, depending on how you want to look at this oriented, 4, 8, 13, or 13 and an endgame tile. These endgame tiles right here, we're going to choose one and we'll be able to score based on, and that happens whenever we get up to this row. How do you get up there? You spend 2 silver at any point on your turn, and you can spend multiples to move vertically, or as it were, to the right, as we're looking at this, up 1 space. If you land on anything here, you immediately do whatever it says. You get 2 points, or you cross that threshold. But you'll notice these black lines. Those black line thresholds are going to be costs to be able to move to the 2nd tier or the 3rd tier. It is either going to be a gold and a stone to move from there to there, or a gold and 2 stone to move from there to there. All right? But it's going to be worth some amount of points, obviously, depending on which row and column you're going to be in. Okay? All right? So we have now moved there, and the hunger wall, as I mentioned, is identical, just the opposite. And the other difference is the column as we're looking at it, but it's actually row, 22 points, but no bonus endgame tile for that row there. Okay? All right. So that was the cathedral. we got our window, and now that is our action, right? We have built our building here. But now let's take a moment and talk about windows. At the end of your turn, when play moves to the next player, you are limited to a total of 2 windows, regardless of the color, be it gold or silver, or any mix of that. So we're at our 2, we are safe, we are good, no harm, no foul. However, at any point on your turn, you may, and you can only do this thing once, you can do this an unlimited amount of times. As I just said, you may move up either the hunger wall or the cathedral by spending 2 silver. Or you can spend a silver and a gold or 2 gold to take 1 action. Holy cow. Now, that action is any of these 6 as pictured on your wheel. What it is not is taking a tile from here, getting a bonus. None of this has to do with taking the extra action. The extra action is only whatever is pictured here, which are the same as those actions, but you're not moving a tile, you're not rotating, you're not getting a bonus. Okay? All right? So there's that. Okay? All right, but as it is, I don't have like a super important thing to do right now. I mean, I guess we could get the extra point. No, I'm sorry. I just said it doesn't pertain to this. It's only this. So no, I don't think there's anything good there. I don't think we need to do. So we're not going to spend those. So our turn is now done. So we'll go ahead and rotate. And because the bot is a terrible, terrible bot, it's going to take this one, which would be worth 2 points. And just to show y'all up close, I cut them off, but it's 3 and 5 points respectively. Never going to happen in the solo game, but anyway, because the bot is going to do that, and it's going to do that, and boom, done. All right? Have a good night, Manuel. Thanks for hanging out. Hey, Drew. All right. So that's done. All right, so our next turn, I think we stay on target and do exactly what we had said here. So we're going to choose this action. And before we do anything is we're going to pay a stone to get an egg. So let's come over and take a look at this. We're going to get a stone. We have a ton of stones, so we'll pay a stone, drop that to 3. But anytime we gain an egg, we gain a stone and a point. So, okay, we had it. We didn't need to spend it. So cool. And now, so it's actually an egg for free and a point. Score 1 for us. All right. So there's that. Now, the stone that we got was not from the wheel. It was from this, so it does not trigger this one, just to be clear. Okay. So the next thing now is we could advance up the King's Road, and I think that we were in agreement. That's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and mosey on over on the King's Road. So consider us moseying up to there. All right, so first things first, pay a gold, get 4 points. Sure, we'll do that. Okay, so we're down to 1 gold. Well, I think I know what our next turn is going to be. And get 4 points. Okay, seems good. Next thing, pay an egg. Done. And either get up the technology track or a gold window. And extra actions are always nice, so I think we take the, I think we get that. All right. And yes, Wolf, in 1 turn, we actually unlocked all 3 of these. Okay. All right. All right, so that's our turn. Now the question is, do we want to spend it to do an extra action? Oh, one other thing I forgot. These refill immediately, and I forgot to do that. I apologize. That's the one that came out. So that is increase your stone production and 2 points. Plus it has the blue bonus symbol on it. Okay. All right. I don't think we need to do... You know what? Let's look at the next step on the King's Road, because as an extra action, we could, right? Because we have that. We're never going to spend 2 gold if we can help it. So the next step on the King's Road is up here, which says, depending on how many steps up, how many of the, not steps up, I apologize, on our upgrades, how many of these at that moment that we get 3 points for each one of those. That'd be 0. Turn an egg in for 2 silver windows or 1 each production. So no, I'm not going to do the King's Road, but just know that that's available to us on a subsequent turn. So I think that's probably going to be it for our turn. Okay. So with that said, we will go ahead and rotate there. And that will go in there. And now, this will come out. And, it dropped. So therefore, this is going to go there. But when it does, this will now cross over to that. And we have to take this up to do like that. And there we go. Because you see the little hole right there, right? That gap. So it's right there. There we go. So remember, this does not happen until this gets back to there. So we have a couple of turns before we go into the level 2 technologies. Okay? All right. Oh, shoot. Back up. Okay, before we do that, thanks, Greg. That's a good point. Hold on. I did just say not too long ago you were allowed to keep a maximum of 2 windows. So you know what? Let's back up our turn, and you either have to throw one away or spend. So we're going to go ahead and spend these 2, and we will go ahead and take an extra action. So what action do we want to take? Well, we have no gold. We have 1 gold, but we have 4 stone. Now, we could... I think I see what I like. For stone, I think we could. We could go ahead and build a wall as an action, which we want. Yeah, I think so. I'm leaning towards that. Not the King's Road yet, because we don't have an egg. But I'm looking at this one, which has a couple of markers on here, which is going to help us for building other, or getting these, which is going to help us with that. That's an option. Another, and that just costs the stone. I like that idea. I'm looking at this one in particular here. So that one. And we have the stone. I kind of like that idea. Because that advances our gold track, and then on next turn, we actually produce gold. I like that idea. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to go ahead and take that action, which means we're going to build this wall piece. Okay, so it's going to cost us 3 stone. So the 3 stone, we're down to 1 and 1 respectively. But it's okay, it's okay. So now, this wall piece is going to go around the outside somewhere here. So something along the lines of that. Because just like out on the board for building, anytime we match up with any existing, it doesn't help us right now. Not yet. But I'm thinking that we put it something like that, and that allows us to put wall pieces on those, like that. Hey, Adam, appreciate it, thanks. And it's going to increase our gold production by 1, which I thought was a pretty good idea. And I don't have a really good plan for this as far as location, where to place it. but I think having these out on the edges makes sense, because I'm less enamored with doing this and more with trying to get these. So I think so. I think I feel okay with that. Now, one other thing that I want to point out is I told you these refill immediately. So this tile coming out, we get to see this before we actually get to place it, before we place our existing, okay? So having that out there with those two definitely makes me think that I'm pretty good with that placement. I kind of like that. Yeah, I think I'm good with that, okay? So looking at that there, that's going to get us now a gold production here. So gold production, this is going to increase one, which it doesn't get us anything yet, but whenever we advance this one more, we're going to get an egg every time we do a gold production. Okay, so done. So that was our bonus action from spending those, done. So then technically at this point, now the bot will have gone, which we've already done. So now it's our turn again. Well, gold production. Now here's the tricky thing. Unfortunately, gold to gold, we're only going to get one of these. So what do you think of this? What about instead of producing gold? Hear me out. We take this one. It gets us 2 gold, which will give us 3 gold. 3 gold is what we need to be able to build anything, max. So that would give us 3 gold, and then plus 1, that will be a 4th gold, and then we increase our production by 1. Now it's going to be a minute until we can produce again, but if we get a silver window, we'll be able to produce, which will then get us an egg every time we produce. And I think doing that seems like a good idea, and I think that's pretty good use of that, I think. So instead of producing, we're actually going to increase our production and get 3 gold. So 2 for that, 1 for that, and then up it 1. I think that makes sense, at least. All right, so it's going to be a total of 3 gold. There we go. And then this will up that. So now, every time we produce, we get an egg, a stone, 3 points, and 7 gold. And I think, obviously, we want to bump this up 1 more to be able to get some in-game point stuff. I think that's a pretty good idea. But right now, I think we're okay until towards the very end to bump that 1 more time. Okay? So I feel pretty good about that. We have 4 gold. We're a little low on stone, so we can't build a wall, really. But we could build just about anything else. Okay? All right. So that's our turn. So we will rotate. All right. So the game's turn. We'll do this. Rotate and go. Our turn. Okay. So let's look. We do have an extra gold to spend. Okay. Unfortunately, those cost 2 to be able to produce gold. So be it. Although, hold on. If we spend 2 and produce, that would get us the 9. Huh. Or do we want to build a building? We have 4 gold. Oh, wait. Let me see. If we do this, it will rotate. That will come out here. That will come out here, and I won't have any gold. I was just thinking if we spend 3 gold here, and then we build next to where our building was, that's going to cost us an extra gold, and we don't have the 5th gold right now. So that may have been some poor planning on my part, unless there's something that gives us gold, and there isn't. So is that crazy to do that, which would get us an egg? And then that would go away, and then we could do this, which would get us a second egg? I mean, this would get us 2 stone and a point because of our bonus, right? And then we could build, but I kind of like that idea of doing that. Plus it gets us the, honestly, oh no, wait, we could take this one. Oh, that's so good. That would get us 3 gold. Oh, I'm sorry. No, oh my God. Oh, yeah, that's what we're doing. All right, hold on. Yes, we're going to take advantage of both of our tiles. Yes, we're going to, here we go. I like this idea. Here we go. We're going to take this tile. It's going to cost us 2 gold. Okay? So work with me here. Have a little faith. That gets us 2 stone. But that costs us 2 gold. There we go. We get 2 stone. We got stone from the bonus there, which is going to get us another stone and a point. So, point to there. All right, so now that we have gotten all that, so now we're going to, as our action, get a gold and, I'm sorry, no, we're going to produce gold. Producing gets us 7. 7 plus 2 is 9. That's also going to get us 1, 2, 3 points, a stone, and an egg. So 3 points, a stone, and an egg. And when we get the egg, it triggers this anytime we get an egg. And that says that that's going to get us a point and a stone. So we're now up to 6 and gives us a point. That'll do, pig. So we went from to maxed gold, 6 stone, an egg. I think that was good. Feels like it was good. But now we're going to rotate. All right, so now the game will do this, one there, advance, and go there. All right, that seems like a pretty good deal. Okay, so now we have an egg. Okay, well, okay, so something to keep in mind, this arrow, basically this is our last turn with the level 1 buildings, because the level 2s are going to come into effect there. So I don't know if I really want any of those. So I don't know that I really want to build. So if I really don't want to build, we could do the King's Road. Now we could do a double King's Road. And here, follow me on this. Oh my, hold on. Oh my. If we were to take this one, that would get us a window. That would go with the gold window that we have. That would get us a bonus action. Or we could take this one, which would get us an egg. Not terrible. And then we do the King's Road. And if we do the King's Road, okay? And if we do the King's Road, we could theoretically do it twice. So we would go here. We would lose out on this because we have punted on all of these. So that's okay, but we could spend the egg that we have to get 2 more windows. We would have to then spend 2. We could spend a gold and a silver to go to the King's Road, which would then get us this stuff. It would get us one of these tiles, which then we would be able to place over here on the bridge. When we place it on there, we then get whatever 2 things that are on here that it covers, plus whatever we get on that. That seems not terrible. And then we only have 1 more step on the bridge to get. And that would I think that's an okay deal. But I think we need to get the egg. So what does all this mean? I think we actually take the one that gives us the point for our turn. So let's do this. So first things first, we'll go and spend our gold down to 8 and get an egg. So there's that. Then we'll go ahead and do the King's Road as we just covered. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. All right. So dead, but we'll go ahead and spend an egg and we'll get 2 windows. Okay. Egg gone. 2 silver windows. And then we have 3 windows. We can't do that at the end of our turn, so I think we take a gold and a silver to go ahead and take a second action. And that second action is going to be the King's Road. All right. Oh, and we get the egg bonus. You're right, a point and a stone. Thank you for the reminder. There, and a point. Excellent. Excellent. All right, so now we're going to do the King's Road action again, which is going to get us here. Now, you'll notice that up here it shows that immediately you spend an egg and you can take one of the tiles. Well, good thing we got that extra egg there. And we get to take one of those tiles. Now, a moment on, I have to look that up for the bridge tiles, or the King's Road tiles, sorry. Draw the top 3 and then choose one. Okay, just wanted to double check. There are that many. Okay, so I'm gonna shuffle these up. Are y'all enjoying this? Is this making sense? Everybody able to follow along so far? I have no idea how well I'm doing, honestly, but I feel like it's being productive. So, okay, so these will go back, although it's moot because solo. All right, so here we go. What do we have? Move up on the cathedral track, get a window and 2 points. That doesn't suck. Get a gold window and 2 gold. One of those gold would be wasted, but that's nice. All right, go up the hunger road, get a window and 2 points. All right, well, I mean, that's an extra action, but I could make a case for either of these. So what one do you think? One, two, three. Let me know. Whew, that's a tough call. Because the gold window is how we're going to be able to get an extra action. But, I did forget the point from the wheel. I will add that in a minute. All right, it seems the first one seems to be the general consensus, so we'll go with that one. So same thing as the regular thing. Here's my point from the wheel for that. Thank you, forgot. These also technically would go to the bottom, so next player choose 3. You get the idea. All right, so now that we have done that, now that we have chosen it, we're going to place it on one of these spaces up here. So, okay, so now the cathedral is going to give us points for the red tokens. So I could make a case for that one. I could not make a case for that because we will lose 1 gold. I mean, the egg is nice, but I don't know. We will need an egg. to be able to get the level 5 one, which is going to be an end-game scoring one, which will then cover up a second one of these. But I think we'll be able to get the egg from producing gold in a little bit. So I don't think that's important. I think that this is probably going to be our best bet. I mean, I think so. Given what it is that we're focusing on this, and the fact that we already have 8 gold and we would punt on a gold there, I think that makes the most sense. So we will go ahead and get 1 red token, bonus token, done. And then we will get 2 points for that. I will get those in a minute. And then that bad boy will go right in there. So that's 2 points. So 4 points and a silver window. Done. 4 points and a cathedral bump. So 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the cathedral bump. So cathedral here, move that way. That's good. That seems good. Okay. And now we have 2 white windows. Ew, you know what? Hold on. We're allowed to do this stuff in any order we want. We have 2 silver windows. So before we get the bump on the cathedral, we're going to spend the 2 windows to move up vertically. So 1, 2, there. Vertically goes there, which will be 2 points. 1, 2. And then, on top of that, then we will do the cathedral bonus we got for that, which will move here, which then kicks us up to here. But we must pay a gold and a stone in which to be able to do so. So a gold down to 7 and a stone down to 6. Okay? I think that makes sense. Oh, and we didn't actually physically move. So now, endgame right now, 8, and each of our red tokens, which we only have 1, granted, but they're 2 points each. Okay? So that seems good. Okay. That seemed like a good bonus move. All right. So now we will rotate and place this here. The game will take that, rotate, and this will go here. I do believe you have to pay when using the arrow. I will double check that though, Chuck. I do believe you have to. I'm looking, a moment. If it moves you to a different tier, you must pay the standard gold and stone cost for crossing tiers. You do, yes. Yep, okay. All right. So I did that right. All right. Well, I needed to pay the windows to move up to there and then move across. So I paid the windows to move from here to there, and then the cathedral bonus was from that to move to there, but I didn't have to pay windows to move there, but I did have to pay that cost. Okay. All right? All right, so now this happened. So per this, it switches from 1 to 2 when those lines match up. Those lines have matched up. So now what does that mean? All of the phase 1s go away. So those go out. The special goes into the special pile. This may take me a moment. Beg your grace on that. And just FYI, these are all 4 special tiles and all of those for all of the various types. All right, so obviously upgrades there. So those are out. These are for the wall. So we didn't even, we barely saw any of these. My point is variability on this. So now we have the 2s coming out. The 2s look very similar to the 1s, except they have 2s on them. So a moment on that. Have all these set up, but let me move them into position so I remember to bring these up. That's wrong. And these also, just, those are the specials, those are the rates. So there are a ton of tiles in this game, okay? So, you know what, I'm pretty sure I shuffled these, so let's do this. I appreciate that, Mer. And the special will go there. We'll go a special there, and we'll go a special there. And you'll notice that these now are at 2, so you go up 2 on the university track for each of these upgrades, even though we have kind of passed that over. But I do want to point out, notice these, which are going to not help us. Nope, because of the location. That one will, though. That one will. That actually is really nice. Pay a gold and go up that track. Oh, that is really nice. Okay. So in a perfect world, I want 2 of these buildings. I would like at least 1 of these that has a red on the outside, and that. And the nice thing is, don't have to worry about the game poaching those from us, right? So, all right. So those are the new tier 2 buildings that are out. Still max cost. Oh my, there's 5 on that one. Okay, but I mean, we have 7 gold, I'm just saying. But, okay. Okay, so what are we trying to do now? I think building. Since we have 7 gold. That would cost us, well, hold on. Before we do anything. I mean, I think that one works pretty well. That would give us a blue, they're worth 0 points. So, yeah, it's not really that great. Multiplier's not bad. I mean, getting that one wouldn't be bad. It's only $2. And it would get us 2 points, 3 points. Or we could pay $1 and get rid of a couple of those, right? So none of those are terribly exciting, I'll be honest. That one is. But unfortunately, oh no, we can get that. Because the special. This one excites the heck out of me. Because it has that. It would match up here. And we could pay a coin every time we do that. I really like that. I think that's a really good idea. However, this being attached to a special right now also for the red buildings, it allows us to get this. Now we can wipe that one. That one's not terribly great for us, but we could pay a gold and get rid of it. You know what? I think we're going to do, because I like this, that won't go away. And it's a point, whereas the other one will still exist and won't be for that next turn. So yeah, I think we wipe these 2. We pay a gold down to 6. It allows you to wipe 2 tiles from any one row. And I think we wiped these two. Because we're not going to have this because it doesn't have the cathedral on it. We want the cathedral. And this one, honestly, that one's actually more isn't it? But these two for sure. So yeah, let's go ahead and wipe these. So technically these will move to the bottom of the stacks, even though we're never going to power through these. Okay, so we have that and we have that. So let's see. That sucks. For what we're doing, that's not really terribly exciting. What do we have here? A couple of book tracks. I would argue both those got worse. Now, you can do that and not take that tile. Like, I'm not beholden to take that tile now. Well, I don't know. The fact that these don't give cathedral bumps kind of sucks. So we could, no, we can't. We could take that one. No, let's stay on target. Let's do that. But we're not going to use the special. I think we go ahead and do that one. And take the extra 3 points, I think. All right, so we'll take the 2 points for this. And this. So that's going to be 2. That's going to be 3. Let's move this. I think it's over here, right? Yeah. 3. 4 points. 3, I'm sorry, 3. Good Lord. Let's try this again. Let's pay the cost first. That's going to be 1, and 5 is 6. We're broke. That's all our gold, but that's okay for right now. So now that we've done that, that's going to be 1 point and 3 for 4, 5, 6 points total. So 6 points. Let's do that to start. 6 points will be to 28. And then there's a cathedral. We need to put a cube on that. Although with the solo play, it doesn't really matter. In addition to that, we're going to get a useless, right now, blue token, just in case, because that matches up. So that's going to be there. And then the cathedral. And the cathedral will be to move that over to the right. And that'll be 2 points right there. And we're at 30. Okay? And I forgot the extra point for this. So one more, 31. There we go. All right. So now that that's done, rotate. The game goes. And it's our turn. Okay. We have no gold. Now here's kind of the problem a little bit. We have no gold, but to get this tile, we don't need gold. We do need the special, which that's going to get us another red. And then, whenever we take a wall action, if we do choose to take a wall action, we're going to be allowed to spend a gold and move up the book track. And that's going, I think that's a good idea. I do. The only thing, Yeah, and then I think the problem is we can't produce gold. So that'll be us. That'll be the game. We'll advance 2. So it'll be one of these, right? So that are free. We can't do the King's Road because we don't have an egg if we do that. And an upgrade here, yeah, I don't really actually like that action. Ah! But matching this up with the special just seems so good. Because the King's Road ones don't really make a lot of sense, and we're not really bothering with stone here. Oh, what the hell. Let's do it anyways, even though I think I might end up regretting doing this. So we're going to choose this. We're going to do the special. The special is going to be this guy there. The problem is we can't do the action next turn because it doesn't match up with the special. And we need the, but man, here's the thing. I don't need that. I need gold. So hold on. Maybe I do the gold. Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. Thank you. Shoot. That's upgrading the wall, not an upgrade. So never mind. Well, actually, in that case, let's take a look at the wall. That gets us an egg and 4 points and gets us that. That seems really good, actually. And the egg, which then will allow us to do the King's Road, which we need, which will get us for endgame points, which then could get us 2 more gold. And aha! There it is. There you go. Got it. So we are going to do this, and we're going to do the special. It's going to be this one. It's going to cost us 3 stone. There it is. It just took me a second. I apologize. So there. This, we're going to move this up now a little bit. And this will go, I think that's good. So by doing that, that's going to get us a red one, token. There. It's going to get us an egg. And 4 points. So the 4 points will be there. The egg is then going to get us 1 more point and a stone. I'm happy with that. All right, and we get a new building up. I have not Boba Flat. And we have that, which, because that goes up the hunger wall track. The technology track, I mean, it's not bad, but we've kind of punted on that one. So, but we do have something, we do have a token. So, whatever. All right, but that felt pretty good, I think, overall. I think that was a good decision. So now we will rotate. There. And now the game will take this one and rotate. And technically is right there. So when it gets back to this spot, when that drops off, that triggers the end of the game. That also tells us we have 5 turns left. Okay? Because we were the first player. All right. Actually, I guess technically that hasn't dropped yet. So I guess technically it'll drop on our turn, but that's fine. Okay, so now we have an egg, so I think we go ahead. We could get the 2 gold. Hold on. I forgot to refill the building. 4 points. Whatever. Yeah, the 4 points is fine, but getting a window, this seems good as opposed to the 2 gold. I think so. If you do a tech, it'll slot back into an S bonus right now. I don't know what that means. Yeah, you're right. The cube hasn't dropped. I think getting the extra window is going to be good. So I think we do take this one, and we do the King's Road. So the King's Road now is going to be right there. And it costs us an egg to do this. We have our 1 egg. So now we get to look at these 3, the 3 that are available. All right, so here we go. These are all in-game ones. I'm gonna have to look these up. All right, so the first one, not there. There we go. The first one is at the end of the game, score points based on the row you achieved on the hunger wall on the cathedral, based on number of rows. So right now we are on row 3, so that would be 6 points, and 0, I guess, on that. No, that'd be 8 points because you start with 2. So that's an 8-point tile as it is right now. Our goal would be a 12-point tile to make that. The second one is score 3 points for each upgrade tile you have. We have none. And score 2 points for every wall tile you have. I think it's got to be that one. Okay? So I think that's a non-decision for us, y'all. So these technically would be back here for other players, if there were any. But here's the positive out of all of this, okay? I forgot to take the window for that, so a moment. So now this covers up any one of these. So I think the obvious one is the left one, right? So I think it's got to be that and the 2 gold. I think that makes sense. It could be the window, because the window would actually get us all the way to where each of these is 4 points, but I think we can get the window a different way. So I think it goes right there, and that is step 5. King's Road is done for us. So we're going to get that, and we're going to get 2 gold, which puts us, other way, on the board at least. And done. But at least we have a window. We have 3 red tokens and 1 blue right now. So that's cool. And rotate. And now it has fallen. Now that will go there. And now the bot will take this one, advance that, and there. And now it's our turn again. All right. Well, we have 2 gold. I mean, produce gold? And that would give us an egg? I don't know that eggs are terribly important to us right now. But getting us gold would allow us to build the building we need, which then is going to get us 1 more in the cathedral. But honestly, we kind of need windows right now, too. So increasing up the book track wouldn't be terrible. Because, to be honest, I would like 2 windows to be able to get there so that whenever we get a cathedral, it moves here automatically, and then windows to move up there. Because the cathedral we're going to get from this. That was the whole point of building that, right? So we know we're going to get to the 4-point row. So let's take a look at the buildings, right? Because the world's our oyster, kind of. This one advances us up the book track 1, and we finish off the gold track. It's not terrible. And that costs us 3 stone. Now, I realize it's a wall as opposed to a building, but I'm just looking at what stuff could do for us. The book track here, that is a building, and it is on a special. So that is doable, but we don't have the cash for this. And we don't need the cathedral because we only need to move right once. So this actually works really well for us, but we don't have the cash. We are $2 short, $3 short for that. Okay, so we can't do this one. But that, I kind of like the idea of being able to do this one because that also gets us up the book track, which is going to get us our level 3 technology, which is a one-time bonus, which seems good. Okay. All right, so the wall, any of the walls would work for us. Ideally, we would want to get one of these symbols because that's going to be worth 4 points for us. That's why I wanted this, because this is worth 8 points plus that. Okay. But we can't do the upgrade with a special because actually we can. Oh, you know what? Maybe we do that. That's it. There it is. I think so. So let's try this. Have some faith in me, and you can yell at me if I'm wrong. We're going to pay the 2 gold because we're going to get gold next turn. So I paid it. We're broke. This is going to become a special, and the special is going to be that one. So now, let's move up here. This is going to go right there. So now, whenever we do build a wall, it will allow us to increase the book track, but more importantly, we're going to get 8 points for those. So I'm going to turn one of these in and turn it into 3, because that was 2 existing. So that now, we now have 5 of those. There we go. I'm okay with that. So now, advance. And that will go there. The game will take that, advance, go there. And now, I think I need 1 gold out of this, and I can't get it. Damn it. Okay. I think we do this one, because that'll get us a point in a stone, and we're going to get a ton of gold, and that'll give us 2 eggs out of it. So I think we do this one. So we'll do this. We're going to produce gold. So we're not going to do this part yet because we have no gold. So we will come back to that. So instead, we will go ahead and produce gold. So it's going to be 7 gold, which 6 gold and get another egg. So that'll be 6. Two eggs, one we just bought and one we get for that. We get that, so we're going to get a point and a stone, and it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 points and 2 stone. And 4 points. There. Done. And at the end of the game, we want, yeah, ideally 4 eggs, but that's not going to be the priority, but yes. What we're talking about is endgame scoring, which is going to be this. We'll get there. All right, so this rotates, there. The game will take this and rotate and go there. And I think we have 2 actions left, 2 or 3, right? It goes 1, 2, 2. I think we have 3. I think it's 2 or 3. All right. So we need a building. I have too much I need to do now, it feels like. We have a ton. We have 6 and 6 for each of our gold and stone. A window would be good. We can get a special building, so we could get this for 2. Ooh, that seems really good. I think we have to do this one. And that will cost us 1, 5. That'll cost us all 6 gold that we have, but I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. All right. Because that's going to be there. The only other thing, King's Road's done. Oh, that should have come out. Sorry. Oh, you know what? I forgot when that should have moved up too, which doesn't matter yet, but if I were to get another, it would. So that's all. Okay. I forgot it. You're right. I have 7 stone. I forgot I got 2 eggs. You're right. Okay. I'm going to have no gold, but I don't need gold for building. And I think I'm good. I would want stone. Yeah, I think we are going to do this. We're going to do this one, which is going to cost us 1 gold. And we're going to do the special building on this. The special building will cost us 4 gold, but it's actually going to cost us 5 gold. So we'll go ahead and do that. So 5 gold, that's all the gold we have. That'll be nothing for this. 1 point for the tile, or for what we covered, that's 1. Then I'm going to get points for every building surrounding that market. So 1, 2, 3, that's a total of 4 points. Plus this is now going to trigger, that's going to be 8 points total. And I owe a stone, sorry. 8 points, puts it at 48, close. It's going to get us sorry, getting ahead of myself. It's also going to be 2 books, or so, a moment. That'll go 1, 2, which will get us a level 3. Now, technologies you don't get to use the turn you get them, but I don't know if that's the case for 3s. They can be used immediately. Okay. So here are the level 3s. These are one-time immediate bonuses. The reason this matters is I want something, hopefully, that will give us a window. I have no idea if that exists. Okay? Almost done. So there's 3. All right, here we go. Let's go over what these are. So that one is produce gold and gain 2 stone. The end. Oops. Oh my. Advance 4 on the university track. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's worth 8 points for us right now. And finally, an egg in a wall. That sucks. And apparently there was no window. So there's that. Okay. The other thing, this would give us 7 gold. We don't get any of the bonuses, but it would give us 7 gold and 2 stone. Appreciate it, Wolf. Have a good night. 7 gold. I don't know, but if I can get a second window. Oh boy. Is the egg that important? I don't think the egg is that important. That's worth the difference right now of 3 points. That's worth 8 because the road part is wasted. That's worth 8. Or gold, if we can get a window. How can we get a window is the question. The gold gives us flexibility. And the reason I want the window is if we get one of these bonus, or if we make it to the end, which we still got to advance that track, right? I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. The other thing is this. And I need the window. And that would give us potentially a window. For the level 4. So I think I don't need the gold for this. I do need some gold to be able to afford it because it's going to be there and I have no gold. So I think I take this because then I'll be able to turn the gold into points potentially if I draw right. And no, it's not there, that one, but I would need the gold to be able to get the window. So yeah, I think this has to be it. I think this has to be it for whatever it is I want to do. So it's going to be 2 stone and 7 gold. And we'll use it immediately. So that'll just go away. These will go to the bottom. And done. All right, so rotate. He will take this one and rotate. And I'm pretty sure, oh no, we still have, yeah, I'm way off. Okay, so it's our turn. Okay. So what do we need to do? I need a window to be able to afford this or this. Oh no, if I do that one, I don't need the window. But we need to get to the end of this track. The end of this track is going to be producing gold, or the gold one, so like this. But this also would allow us that. I forget to move up for the cathedral, so all of these are worth 4 points apiece now. Oh, actually, you're right. I get 2 blue tiles, which that'll go there, and they're currently worth 0. But if we were to get a cathedral out there, I'm sorry, a King's Road. Oh, so many things. Construction of the wall is one of these 2, right? And because I'm looking at this bumps us up a book, which gets us 1 short of where we need to be, but also advances us there. Now this gets us a book, which is one. No, it would have to be this one, I think. Forgot the blue chip. Yeah, move on the hunger wall. I don't move on the hunger wall for that. No, I don't get everything for that, Stephen. Everything on the track I don't get because the, well, that tile's specific about that. Oh. Ah, that was it. Yes, there it is. I forgot that. There it is. Okay. Whew, good. And that gets us the second window right here. Okay, thank you. I knew I had it figured out and I forgot. So we're gonna pay 1 gold for this. So that's gonna be down to 6. That's gonna get us a window. There. Then we're going to build a wall. The wall is going to be this one, which is going to be 3 stone for that. So the 3 stone, we'll drop that down to 5. There. Okay. So that is now paid for. And I don't think it really matters where this goes. So we'll go and throw it like right there. Because nothing matches up. But in case we get another wall there, we would get another window, whatever. That gets us a book and 2 up the gold track. So the book will be 1 here. But because we have that, we can spend 1 gold, which then advances us up the book track again, which gets us a level 4. And then we're going to get 2 bumps here, 1 there. We're going to take one of our cubes and put it up here temporarily for those. We do not have to purchase it right now. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I guess I should put it like here, just in case we can get 1 more there. Like that. There we go. You're right. All right, fair enough. Okay. So now we got that, we got that. Now we get the level 4s. Now we don't need the window as much. There we go. All right, so 3 of these. See what we get. And these can be immediate. That is, perform the action construct a wall. The cost of the wall is reduced by 2 stone. Okay. Oh my. Oh, I think, oh, that was huge. I think that may have just been the one we get. That one says perform any action. And that says, just like the other one, perform a construct a building, total cost is reduced by 2, but I think I know what we're doing. I think we're going to choose this and immediately do it. Because if we did this, that would give us 2 windows. And 2 windows would then allow us 2, 4 to be able to make it all the way to the top, which gives us another endgame scoring tile, and that would be at 13 points. I think it's got to be that, right? I mean, I feel like that's the no-brainer. So we will choose that one and immediately do it. That was fortuitous. And which one? So it could be any one with a window. And it said any? Well, including the special? Nah, the constructor wall, it doesn't say the special. But it's got to be one with, so it's got to be this guy. So it's only going to cost us 1 stone. Ooh, could it do the upgraded action? I would argue yes. I think so. So I'll take this. That costs 1 stone instead of 3. I'll spend a gold and move up the track there. If we can move up there, is it? I think it's worth it. This will go there. That gets us 2 windows. Don't bother, because we're going to go bink, bink. But we need to pay the 1 gold and 2 stone. 1 gold and 2 stone. But we get to draw 1 of those. And that will cost us those windows as well. Hey, Felix. All right, I think that works. I think that's it. I think that was our turn. I don't think I forgot anything except that. And we need to draw these guys. All right, so let's see what these are. So we get to look at all 3 and choose 1. All right, these are immediately score 3 points. At the end of the game, score points equal to the number of gold mines. That'd be 8. So that's 11 points right there. This one is that, but crappier, because stone, and we didn't do that. And this one is 3 points and the exact same, but equal to, that's not so good. So no. So it's got to be that one. Okay. So those will go back. This will go here. We'll put, that'll just get scored at the end of the game. That's fine. And now, we'll go ahead, since we're not going to have the windows, we'll go ahead and take the 6-point spot there. And I think that's, no, it was a discounted 2. Okay. So now, rotate. The game will do that. And rotate. And this is our last turn. Okay. I'll be honest, getting a cathedral to where these are at least, I mean, that's 3 points, potentially. Is that even possible for the wall? No, because we can't get the special. It's the only cathedral tile out there. I'm sorry, Hunger Road. So that's the only one. And we could spend a gold to wipe them. There is that. And if we were to do that, then we might be able to get another one of these with that if we get, you know, that might not be a bad idea. And that would get us another egg to boot. But stone is a little tricky right now. We have 2 stone. And that would cost us an extra stone. I think that's worth it. Let's see. That gives us a stone, but that would give us another egg, and another egg would be 3 more points. But we only have 2 stone. We have 3 gold and 2 stone. So I'm not sure which of these this is, but I think we're going to spend 1 gold. And let's wipe 2 of the building, or 2 of the walls. We now have 2 and 2. So I think we wipe this one, even though it's an egg. It's an egg. And that. But I really... Maybe we keep... but we need a stone. Well, we can do that. That would be a 3rd gold, and we can't afford that, and that would be a 3rd stone. We're 1 gold short, as it is right now, if we were to get that. So I think we wipe these and just hope we get right. Or we could produce gold and get 2 eggs, and that would be a 7-point get. But that feels so anticlimactic. Why would I get 4 points for going up the last step in the cathedral? I don't think so. I don't think I get 4 points for that anywhere. I don't think so. Oh, that's 3. That would be 7. And that's a risk. Or we could produce gold and that'd be that. That seems so anticlimactic though. Yeah, I guess we could try the wipe for the gold that I paid, right? So I think we do this, and if not, then we can take this and we're still good. So yeah, there we go. So here we go. We got 1, we got 2. Let's see. Yeah, that's right. We don't have to choose the tile. That didn't help us. And that didn't help us. So I guess we're going to produce gold. All right. So we'll do this. We'll turn in a stone and get an egg. But turning in the stone is actually a wash for that. So there. So we get a point for that. And an egg. And then we get to produce. So what do we produce? We get 8 gold, which one of them's lost. 1, 2, 3 points, a stone, and an egg. So there's 3. That'll be 4 eggs and 3 points. There we go. Okay. We have no windows. We're done. There. There. And then the game will move this one, and it drops. And that triggers the end of the game. All right, so now this is the end game scoring. All right. And a point and a stone for new. You're right. Hold on. There, and one more point. There we go. Okay. All right, end game scoring. All right. Unresolved plazas. Well, we don't have any, which technically, by the way, that should have come off and that should have come off and come back to me to be able to reuse, because obviously if you don't have markers, you can't build those buildings. It was a cow's opinion. It was moot. So there were no unresolved plazas for the first one. So we skipped the first one. The second one is worth 0 points for us. Why? Unfortunately, this is not going well because we did not make it to that. If we made it there, we would have gotten 7 points for that because multipliers. That would have been 14. That would have been 21. Okay? All right. All right. Third one is we get points for these based on where we are. Okay. Well, the hunger wall, we didn't move. So that's each of these is going to be worth 0 points. Okay, that kind of sucks. But the good news is our cathedral, each of those is going to be worth 4 points. And we have, so these are 0. Let's throw those away. 3, 4, 5. 5 times 4, that's 20 points. 20, that sounds like 73. Okay. Just over halfway home. All right. So next, we have, how many wall pieces do we have? 4, 10, 18 points respectively. I think we have 4. That's going to be 10 points for that. That's going to be 83. And unfortunately, I didn't have 2 windows to be able to do what I want for 18 points. So instead, we get that, the seal. That's going to be 6, 2, 4, 6. And unfortunately, we do have 4 eggs. It's going to be worth 10 points. And I'm pretty sure that is 99. There we go. A good score is 140. Well, there's that. All right, so first off, hey, Pat, thanks for the support. I appreciate it. Cheers. Thank you. Went to patreon.com/HCHQ. Thank you for the support on that. But there you go. That is Praga Caput Regni. Now, not going to do a roundtable, but I will say this about it, that even though it's got a lot of moving intersecting parts, if you take it slow, it seems to flow really, really well. Just take it slow, flow. Didn't mean for that to rhyme. So there you go. A couple other things I wanted to point out. So this was the, I don't want to call it vanilla, but the solo variant that is in the rulebook, which is really just that in the rulebook. Okay. Just another remander that this one you can go to deliciousgames.com or there's a link on BGG. This is for the more thorough, a step up for the solo game bot, and it's a print and play. You got to print off 5 cards. You can go to Staples. You can print this off yourself, whatever, and that makes that. So if we stream this again, then I'll be busting that out there. Also, don't forget about the variety. of things. I showed you all the tiles. All of these are reversible. There are tiles for the the King's Road that can go out there, and these are going to be interchangeable for the 3D stuff as well. All right? All right. Oh, no. You're right. Thanks. And I forgot about this, and I forgot about this. So you're right. So that is 2 points for every step. So it's going to be 10 points for there. 10 and 2, that's going to be 12 for that. 1, that goes to 111. Check that. Thanks, Mur. It's less embarrassing now. And, oh, wrong one. It should have been 3 points immediate. I forgot it. And then where we are on the track, that's going to be another 11 points for that. So that is going to be to 22. All right, 122. That's a little bit better. Active versus passive bot. There you go. That's a good way to put it, Rainer. I appreciate that. And I owe myself 4 points and the points for the 2 gold tile. To answer your question on the window, for this one, and this one, you do need windows. You don't for the first 2. But the good news is, for what it's worth, and you saw that I didn't place this right away. You were not compelled to place it right away. If you don't have the windows, you can just set it up here as a reminder. The rules call this out to where if you get windows, you can either turn them in at the end of the game or at any point on your turn to claim these. But obviously in a multiplayer, that may be problematic because there's only one spot. So keep that in mind, okay? Did not take the points when you moved your cube up to the... Okay, so apparently somebody had mentioned earlier, so 4 points for making it to the top. I don't know. I honestly didn't know that, so it's going to be 126. So making it to the top of that. A moment. I believe you all, but I don't know where that is in a rule book. I'm going to take your word for it. All right, so cool. There we go. All right, so anyway, look under the cube. Oh! So there's that. Right there. Yeah, my bad. My bad, because I made it to that spot. That's the 4 points. That's what... There you go. My bad. My bad. All right, so yeah. So 126. Okay, that's way better. Still lost, but okay. Chuck says, take another extra 5 points for a great stream. I don't know about all that, but I appreciate it, y'all. So that's it. That is Praga Caput Regni. Yeah, if you enjoy it, pick up a copy from Rio Grande. Thanks again to everybody over at Rio Grande for sponsoring the stream, as well as providing us with a review copy. Thanks to everybody out there that joined me today and subsequently. And thanks to everybody supporting the channel and all that. So I appreciate it. And yeah, that's it. I will be back tomorrow with another solo stream of PAX Viking. Now, we did a 2-player where Jess obliterated me. At least she won't be here to crush me on that. I'll probably still figure out a way to lose this. But PAX Viking tomorrow. Supposed to be 3. It could be 3 or 4 tomorrow. I'm not sure which it's going to be, but probably 3 p.m. Eastern, 1500 EDT, because summertime. No, there you go. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. All right. So thanks, everybody. I appreciate it. Be kind to one another. Wear your mask, social distance. And I'll see you all tomorrow. All right. Take care, everybody.